It's Amanda. Today we're going to be discussing if, else inside C++. It's going to be a very basic example. Let's go ahead and run the program. I'm using 3 hard-coded integer data types, which have the name num1, num2, num3. And as you can see, num1 is assigned 2, num2 is assigned 4, and num3 is assigned 6. Again, all of the integer data type. And when the program is run, as you can see, 6 is the greatest, which in this case, 6 is the greatest number out of these 3 in comparisons. That's because when it comes down to this if, else, if statement. However, I have an else if statement in here right now just to use an example. I don't really need it in there, and I'll show you. However, we're going to keep going and show you why this works. So first, it's going to check the comparison. It's going to say if num1 is greater than num2 and num1 is greater than num3, then number 1 is going to be the greatest. So let's go ahead and change the number now and rerun the program, and now it's going to say 8 is the greatest. And say let's go ahead and say I comment this out, so just so you can see that 6 is no longer the greatest number. And it's going to say I have a, there you go. So 8 is the greatest. So 6 is no longer in that comparison, so 8 is the greatest number there. So basically, it's going to come down to this if, and then else if, and then else if again. And before we go any further, I'm going to stop here so I can break this down for you and hopefully describe this a little bit slower than what I am right now. Because I've done a video on my logical and relational operators and equality operators, I'm not going to go over them. However, I'm going to describe them a little bit as I'm going to break them down. So as you can see, I have a keyword, and it's the first keyword is going to be if. And this is going to be my syntax for my if statement is going to be the keyword if, followed by my parentheses, and then what my conditions are in this case. And then it's going to go through the scope and it's going to do whatever I decide to do inside of that scope. So first, as we can see, we have our 3 variables. Let me go ahead and copy those over here too, so you can see those. So first we have our 3 variables, and then we have our if statement, and it's going to do the comparison. So if num1 is greater than num2, which is 4, so 8, if 8 is greater than 4, so 8 is greater than 4, yes, that would be equivalent to a 1. And because we have this and sign here, then that means that we need both of them to be 1. So then it would come down to this third comparison. So right now it's at num1, and it just did this comparison with num2. And now it's going to come down and it's going to do the last comparison. So num1 against the third number being num3, so is 8 greater than 6. Oh, sorry. Oh, well, it's okay. Yep, it is. So that's going to be equivalent to 1. So it's going to be true, which means it's going to display and exit the program or continue going depending on what you have inside of this local scope here. As you can see that it displays 8 is the greatest, which is, in this case, it is because number 1 is the greatest, or num1, which is assigned 8 is the greatest integer in this case. So let's go ahead and change these conditions now. So make sure it doesn't go, or it goes out of that first if statement. So now I'm going to go ahead and make num2 10 and I'm going to go ahead and run the program, and obviously it's going to display, but you're not going to be able to see why it's going to be displayed. So easily here we can go down to our new conditions here and check them. And basically what it's going to do is once it sees again, so we have our num1 here, our num2 here, and our num3, oh, sorry. Num3 here. So our num1 is 6 greater than num2? The answer is no. So this would be false. And then we have, and it's not even going to go through this and, because in order for this condition to be true, this logical operator here, it both would have to be true. So it's already going to go and it's going to exit and come down here to this else if statement, and then it checks to see num2. So num2 is 10 greater than num1, which is 8. So yes, so that's true. So then it will check the second condition. So is num2 greater than num3, which is 6? Yes, it is. And because those are both true, it displays 10. For my last comparison, I don't feel like I have to go over what we just discussed because it's going to do the same thing, because I have the same logical operator and the same relational operators, and it's just it's just comparing these three integers here. So that's all it's doing. So that's what I was going to say with this else if. This makes it a little bit clearer to read. However, I don't even need this else if, because if in this case, because these are hard-coded variables, if the last number is always going to be the greatest, then obviously it's not going to be, the other numbers are not going to be greater than the last number. So 14 is going to be displayed in my else statement. That is below. So it goes if, else if, and then I could even add another else if, and then I would end it with an else. Sometimes you don't need an else. It depends on what you're trying to do. But anyway, hopefully this helps a little bit with your if, else, if, and you can do again else if, else. If you have any questions, let me know. If you like this video, please like it, share, subscribe. Thanks for your time, and I hope everybody has a great day.